Geek Freaks. This is Jake Aria with a really cool episode of Geeking Out. We have here the voice of Princess Leia in both Star Wars Rebels and looks like the Lego games as well.
The Lego's Freemaker series.
Okay.
And a bunch of video games.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your name is Julie Dolan. Am I pronouncing that correct?
Dolan.
Dolan.
Right? That's right.
Okay.
Very Irish. Irish girl. Irish geek here.
It's actually where I spent my year getting my master's degree in film. Was in Ireland.
Really?
Yeah.
Dublin or where?
Galway.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's where my family is from, near there.
Really?
Yep, they're
well,
dead
that's
and
where
buried.
this ring is from.
Can I have it? No, I'm kidding.
So, yeah, this is really cool getting to sit down with you and talk
It's cool
about,
getting to sit down with you, too.
about the voice of Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Because, such an iconic character. What was it like voicing someone that everyone kind of already knew so well?
Scary, really scary, because I saw the movie when I was a kid in 1977, and I saw the first three, 4, 5, and 6.
Uh-huh.
And that was it. And I never saw them again. I
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
one of those fans that went and saw them again and again and again and again, and I didn't get all the paraphernalia and all the, the collector's items. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't, the space wasn't my thing. So when I got a call from my agent 5 years ago, she said, "Can you sound like Princess Leia?" Don't think so. I said, I have no idea what Princess Leia sounds like. Really? I mean, I know it's Carrie Fisher, but I've seen Carrie Fisher in so many movies since then.
Yeah.
I don't associate her with Princess Leia anymore.
Yeah.
So they sent me the Obi-Wan Kenobi speech, the General Kenobi. Years ago, you served my father in the... They sent it to me on video, and then they sent it to me in text form. Mm-hmm. And they said, try to sound like her and read it. So I read it, and I sent it in back to Lucas, and they auditioned about 200 girls.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't find what they needed. They auditioned Carrie Fisher, brought her in, and
really?
said, we want you to, and we did not know what this was for.
Okay.
We didn't know what project it was.
Yeah.
No, they don't tell you anything.
Oh, yeah.
They have code names for everything.
Yeah.
So they read Carrie Fisher. They wanted her to sound like that character.
Yeah.
From A New Hope. So they auditioned 200 more girls, and it was between me and 2 other girls. And they brought us into Disney Imagineering Studios. They brought in a dialect coach, because if you remember in A New Hope, she had that English accent that kind of went in and out.
Yeah.
She had gone to school in England.
Oh, okay.
So, and they filmed it in England. She was going to school when she started filming A New Hope. So they brought in a dialect coach, so I do that awful accent. And didn't hear anything for a couple of weeks, and then my agent called me and said, "You got the part." I said, "What is it? Got the part for what?" And it turns out it's for a Star Tours at Disneyland.
Oh, Star Tours.
That was my very first Leia job.
Oh, wow.
So it's in Disneyland in Anaheim, Tokyo, Florida, and it's now in Paris.
Yeah.
So that was my first job as Leia. Then when I got Rebels, I said, all right, I better get serious about this, because I need to learn who Leia is. If I'm going to be portraying her as a 14, 15-year-old, I need to know who she is and what she wants and what her goals are and who her parents really were, like her real mom and dad. So I watched all 6 movies over and over again, even though she's not in the last, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I still wanted to kind of see the arc of the whole story and where she fit into it. And then I went to Google and Wikipedia and Wikipedia, and I learned everything I could about her, and I had notes with me. I went to Hawaii and I watched all 6 movies, and I read Wikipedia the whole time on the airplane. That was my reading material on the airplane. 5 hours, both ways. I'm reading about Leia, just so I can memorize and have that in my head when I went in to do the series. I just wanted to know, as an actor, you do that. You find out who your character is and what they want, and if it's not an iconic character like this, she already has a history. As an actor, you have to create that history. You make it up. She already had a history, so I had to learn it.
Now, I feel terrible because that is the one Star Wars series I have not watched. So whenever I watch these videos about 10 facts you never knew about this or that, they always say, oh, it's very rare to have voice actors recording in the same booth, but it seems like...
For Rebels, everybody was in there.
Yeah.
It was like doing a play. our scripts in front of us, we had our microphones, and we could talk to each other like this and really relate to each other. It makes the acting just that much more real. Normally you don't have that, but I don't know if it was a special episode, but we were all in the same room together. I loved it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier today. You said that you never actually got the chance to meet Carrie Fisher.
No, but I met her mom.
You met her mom. What was that like?
Well, I used to be a dancer because my mom put me in dancing when I was 3, and when I was older, I danced with Debbie in a couple shows. I think Carrie was in the audience as well, but I never got to meet her. So yeah, Debbie was great. Debbie was great. I loved working with her. It was just a couple shows I did.
Yeah, that was a really rough 2 days. When
I felt like I lost a sister. You know, when you study somebody and you're so close to them and you sound like them and you're trying to be them.
Yeah.
I felt like I lost a sister. And then with Debbie dying, I was like, God, it just broke my heart that weekend. You know.
That was a really rough Christmas for everyone, I think. A lot of fans.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up watching Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. Star Wars was my first kind of geeky thing I liked.
Yeah.
My cousin got me started on it. I love Star Wars. And it was just, and she, you know, she was always so funny. I remember an episode of 30 Rock she was on where
She was
on episode 30 Rock, which is one of my favorite television shows.
I have to watch it.
And she kind of made fun of herself a lot on it. She's kind of this really eccentric, quirky writer, which I know that later on in her career she more became a writer than an actress. I know she did a lot of...
I'm reading her book right now, Princess Diarist, There's Wishful Drinking, she wrote that one, Postcards from the Edge, which they made a movie about.
My mother loves that movie.
I do too, it's one of my favorite movies.
She
she had a book signing in Santa Monica, which is near where I live, like 2-3 weeks before she died, maybe a month before she died. I almost went, and then I ended up not going. And I regret it now.
That would have been a very interesting meeting. It's like, hi, I voice you in cartoons.
You know, but I don't know if I would want to tell her.
Really?
I mean, I would have rather have met her at one of the convention where I'm on the same side of the table as her, and rather than just, I mean, who knows? I could be some crazy fan that she says I voice you. She doesn't know. She doesn't know me.
Yeah.
You know, unless she had to approve my voice. I don't know. You know,
So,
I doubt it.
Well, I remember there's a story that she used to tell. I know she probably didn't, it may have as a courtesy given her approval, but I remember she sold her likeness to Lucasfilms. She used to always tell this joke of, every time I look in the mirror, I have to give George Lucas a quarter.
Yes! I saw her say that. That's very funny. Yeah.
So you've done Princess Leia. Are there any other like iconic roles you've played? That
Leia's like the big one, but I was on, you know, Disney Junior. You probably don't watch it because you're too old, but there's a series called Sophia the First, which is very popular with the kids. And there's a episode where one of the main characters gets turned into a little boy, and I did the voice for that, and it's one of the most popular episodes.
Really?
So people love that character that I do, but this Leia is, you can't top.
No,
you can't top that.
Have you by chance met Mark Hamill at all?
Not yet, but I'm sure I will.
Because Mark Hamill, he's another one of my heroes. Joker. That was weird when I discovered that he was a voice actor.
I know, me too.
I did
not know that.
I was like, what has Mark Hamill been in? What happened to his career? And then I look, oh my gosh, he's one of the most...
He's got the longest... A lot of actors do that.
He's got the longest IMDb list of all the Star Wars people.
Yeah, I was surprised.
He's in everything.
Good for him. Good for him.
Well, you know, it's really cool to see someone who's so passionate about portraying the character.
Yeah, I have to be.
And is there any chance maybe we can get a little bit of the Obi-Wan speech? Any possibility?
Well, I'm hoarse right now from talking all day, but you know, I'll do my best.
Okay. All right.
General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars, and now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. I regret that I'm unable to present my request to you in person, but my ship has fallen under attack, and I'm afraid my mission to deliver you to Alderaan has failed. I've placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion in the memory systems of this R2 unit. My father will know how to retrieve it. You must see this droid safely delivered to him on Alderaan. This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, my voice is skipping a lot.
It's funny because like you can hear a little bit of a difference, but that sounds like the Leia from Star Tours. Because that was you.
Yeah.
Like because I've been on that Star Tours ride so many times.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes you don't get Leia. I mean, they have so many different variations.
I think I've gotten every storyline.
Oh,
Because
there's like 40,000.
I went. I don't think I've gotten every combination, but I think I've like got each individual scene because I think there's like was it like 6 of each because there's like 3.
That. Yeah.
And I went on it probably 30 times on my vacation. I kept going on it.
You are a geek.
Oh my gosh, I love and when Darth Vader shows up and grabs the shuttle.
I know.
Oh, that scene was
so
great.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
thank you again
You're
for
welcome. Thank
your
you.
time, and that's
awesome.
very nice to get to talk to you.
It was fun. Thank
you very much.
And cut.